Dairy waste to power. Part 2, cows to milk. As you've learned, the waste from Wisconsin's 1.25 million dairy cows can be turned into valuable renewable resources. This is done through a process called anaerobic digestion. You'll learn about anaerobic digestion on a dairy farm by working your way through a flowchart of the process in the next several presentations. You'll make 14 stops through the flowchart as you learn about the process of anaerobic digestion. And you'll learn how the process of anaerobic digestion not only produces energy, it recycles vital nutrients, and even produces a solid that can be recycled as cow bedding. We'll begin our study of anaerobic digestion in a very obvious place with cows. You've already learned that each cow in Wisconsin is responsible for generating some $21,000 a year in economic activity. In the next several slides, you'll learn how astonishingly productive Wisconsin dairy cows are at producing milk. Why so productive? Wisconsin's dairy cows are well cared for. Professional nutritionists are often employed to determine a cow's diet. Cows are fed nutritious diets every single day. Those diets are different for different stages of a cow's life, too. Cows always have access to plenty of clean, fresh water. A cow is cared for through each stage of its life. Cows receive routine veterinary care and veterinary care if they become ill. Cows are kept safe and comfortable 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Barns and bedding are regularly cleaned. Cows are provided with space to move and rest. They have social interactions with other cows. Farm owners work to keep extremes of hot and cold weather from stressing their cows. Dairy farmers and their employees treat cows conscientiously and well. It makes sense to everyone on the farm that when cows are well cared for, they provide good milk production. In fact, most farmers monitor each cow's individual milk production. Of course, farmers need to know how well their cows are producing milk. And if milk production should drop, it is a sign that a cow's health should be checked. Also playing a part in cow health is regular milking. Cows need to be milked. Most cows in Wisconsin are milked 2 or 3 times a day. Regular cow milking is required to maintain cow health and comfort. Cows are well cared for in Wisconsin so that they may produce lots of high-quality milk. But they are also well cared for because that is the culture of the people who work on Wisconsin's dairy farms. As you just read, one of the big reasons for a cow's health and productivity is the quality of the food they eat. So our next stop? Cow feed. There is no single diet for every cow or farm. Different kinds of cows need different diets. In addition, a cow that is milking will require a different diet than one that is a calf. And a cow that is calving will need yet another kind of dietary mix. Other variables will involve the type of crops the dairy farmer can grow or can buy and at what prices. Dairy farmers, of course, want to feed their milk cows a diet that will keep them healthy and provide for the best milk production. To do this, many farmers employ specialists who study the science of cow nutrition to provide the best total mixed ration for their cows. Whether employing a nutritionist or not, a cow's diet must correctly balance fiber, protein, minerals, and energy requirements for good health and milk production. To the left are pictures of some of the more common components in a dairy cow's diet. It is worth taking a moment here to note that Wisconsin dairy farmers support recycling in other industries in what they feed their cows. For example, cottonseed hulls, distillers' grains, and gluten byproducts are often used in the cow feed portions you see to the left. That means Wisconsin dairy farmers support the cotton, ethanol, and corn industries by repurposing what used to be their wastes into cow feed. That's good for our environment and helps to keep our consumer costs down. You may already know that cows are mammals called ruminants that chew the cud. A cow typically consumes over 100 pounds of food each day. The food a cow consumes is later returned to its mouth where it, the cud, is chewed a second time. You may also know that a cow has 4 stomachs. Between chewing the cud and the digestive action in these 4 stomachs, a cow is able to process its high-fiber plant food diet, food that we humans could never eat, efficiently into milk. A cow will regularly spend about a third of its day ruminating. When a cow is chewing her cud, she is comfortable and content and is usually making milk. Healthy cow feed calls for healthy crops requiring nutrients. A healthy cow needs healthful food, and healthful food needs nutrients to grow. The 3 most important nutrients needed for plant growth are nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. If these nutrients are in short supply in the soil, plants will not grow very well. Many farmers test their soil to determine what nutrients are needed in order to produce the crops they want. This is an important part of a farm's nutrient management plan. A nutrient management plan will track the nutrients that are applied to the soil, when, where, and how they are applied, and in what form they are applied. These factors are carefully considered to promote the best plant growth, but they are also managed to prevent, or strictly limit, environmental damage from nutrient runoff. Nutrient runoff can be started by fertilizing a field in excess of its needs, or by using incorrect methods, or both. No matter the origin, the effects can be serious. Streams that are close to fertilized fields can be seriously affected by excess nutrient runoff when the snow melts or when it rains. These streams can carry excess nutrients to rivers and lakes. All of these waterways can suffer the effects of eutrophication. Eutrophication, or more correctly, hypertrophication, is the environmental response of a waterway to the addition of excess nutrients, usually nitrogen or phosphorus, from fertilizer. Eutrophication begins with the application of excess nutrients. Then, when it rains or snows, running water can carry those nutrients away to other places. The remainder of the eutrophication process goes like this. Excess nutrients in the water promote the growth of excess algae. This is called an algae bloom. When the nutrients are all used up, the algae die. Microbes in the water decompose the dead algae, using up oxygen in the water in the process. The waterway then suffers from too little oxygen. Fish and other creatures in the water die from lack of available oxygen. These pictures to the left are algae blooms in progress. It is important to note that these same effects can result from excess lawn fertilizer running off into storm sewers and waterways. Eutrophication can also result if improperly treated wastewater is discharged into a waterway from a city or one of its industries. It can also result from a poorly functioning or overburdened residential septic system. There are many kinds of agricultural fertilizers and many methods of application. As you will learn, anaerobic digestion of cow waste produces a product that is an outstanding fertilizer that naturally acts to prevent eutrophication. Next, let's take a look at another of a cow's needs. Cow bedding. For reasons of health, comfort, and milk production, farmers choose the bedding material for their cows carefully. A typical cow will spend about half its day lying down and about a third of its day ruminating. Often these two activities go together. When a cow is chewing her cud, she is comfortable and content and is usually making milk. Besides comfort, a cow's bedding must provide for cleanliness and moisture control. Plainly, a good bedding material will promote good milk production and save money. A bad bedding material will be costly. Milk production can drop, and the bedding material will require changing more often. Several kinds of bedding materials are commonly used for cows. Each type of bedding has its advantages, and each one is more or less available to every farmer. but that availability can be limited by a farmer's location and the cost to acquire the bedding. Among the most common bedding materials used are straw, sand, newspaper, and wood chips, shavings, and sawdust. However, a new bedding material has recently been added to this list: biosolids. As you will learn, the solid material produced from the process of anaerobic digestion of cow waste can make a very good bedding material for cows. Used in this way, biosolids are a cost-effective, recyclable, green product. With great care and great food, Wisconsin cows make a great product. You might be able to guess what it is. Milk. It's not the purpose of this lesson to provide details about the product we call cow's milk. What is easy to see and understand is that cow's milk provides us with many varied, nutritious, and safe-to-eat products. Typically, Wisconsin cows are milked 2 to 3 times a day. The average cow in Wisconsin, when milking, produces about 60 pounds of milk each day, about 7 gallons. A milking cow, of course, takes what she needs from what she eats to provide for her own good health. Then she processes the remainder of what she eats into nutritious cow's milk. That nutrition is passed on to us in each of the products you see here. Millions of Wisconsin consumers support Wisconsin's dairy industry by choosing to buy these varied, nutritious, safe-to-eat and drink products every day. Those purchases and a few more than 1.25 million cows make us the dairy state and have made dairy a growth industry in Wisconsin. And in just a moment, you'll learn about another product that cows make every day that has begun to make dairy a growth industry in another area. That product is cow waste. To pick up the story, starting with cow waste, please make your way to Part 3, Cow Waste to Biosolids.